that's the way.
Hello, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you've been watching Dyer-Situation. You know, some years, there's a movie that's really nice, that touches your heart. And then there's these movies. These movies from this year are utter crap, each and every one. You might have a differing opinion, and that's totally fine, but this is all me, as you should know by now. So, without further ado, here's my opinion on the top 5 worst movies of 2013.
I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired, my mind is on the blink. I wonder, should I get up and fix myself a drink?
Number 5. Man of Steel. Now, this seems to be a movie that has split the internet down the middle, but I am definitely on the side of not liking it. I get that a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a hero that's been put through, is being put through new tasks and all that, but I think of it as just a really dry, unlikable, uneventful movie. And I find very little to pull away from it. And it's just not a fun time, or not even a very good sad time or something like that. It's not pulling off any real emotion with any kind of clarity. It was just a major disappointment, especially since last year I had it on my list for possibly being the best, one of the best movies of 2013. If you look back at the best and worst video of 2012, I predicted that it would be the best movie. How wrong was I? But something surprising, the one I had for worst movie, Oz the Great and Powerful, is not on this list. Yes, if you were expecting a big rant about Oz the Great and Powerful, it's not going to happen. As I look back on it now, I kind of feel that its effects, though it was really bad and I don't want to see it again, it doesn't have any lasting, I hate you effects. It's more of just, man, that wasn't good. Let me go watch the real Wizard of Oz and then I feel better again. You know, Wizard of Oz has been around for so long, and it is not going to die. And maybe I should have realized that when I saw the movie. That movie's going to tank, and Wizard of Oz is going to live on forever. It's just how it works. So that's why it's not making this list, and Man of Steel is. There you go. Number 4, Warm Bodies. This movie had potential. It honestly did. Like, dark comedy about this zombie falling in love with someone. That could have been funny. Imagine if he just stayed total zombie the entire time, and he's just like I'm just imagining like the end of Shaun the Dead, where she has him locked up in the shed, and, you know, she just comes out there to play video games, or, I don't know, their equivalent of that. Like, I find that stuff pretty funny, like, because you could see at the end of Shaun the Dead, he did still have a bit of his personality. He enjoyed playing those games and all that, but he's a zombie. I thought that would be funny, like, a movie kind of like that. But no, instead they had to throw in some bullshit stuff about if a zombie falls in love, his heart starts beating and he becomes a human again. And, oh no, there's these evil skeletons that don't like hearts and stuff. And of course a plot that kept on repeating itself. Oh, yo, you're a zombie. Oh, wait, I see you are turning more human. Oh, no, you're a zombie. Oh, wait, you're turning a little more human. Oh, no, you're a zombie. Oh, wait, I love you. Just awful. it failed on the romance, in my opinion, and it failed in so many levels. Even on the dark comedy, especially since it was advertised as a comedy. That's one of the things. If it was advertised as a dumb love story, you know, that would be fine. I just wouldn't have seen it, and I would be totally fine with its existence. But it advertised itself as a comedy. If you see the trailers and stuff, they are clearly trying to make you think this is something you're gonna laugh at. But all of those little subtle comedic moments they have in there, that's it. There is nothing more. If you see the trailer, that's the extent of funny. I think I even mentioned that in the original review. That is the extent of the funny you will get with this movie. Just an utter disappointment. Number 3. Texas Chainsaw 3D. I do not like 3D movies. You've probably heard this from several people, but I do not like 3D movies. I have not seen one that's really taken it to the edge. Probably some of the best I've ever seen was in Captain EO over in Disneyland. That's probably the best 3D I have ever seen, and that shit's from the 80s. But this movie, it's about a chainsaw wielding maniac in 3D, and it's never utilized. Like, I was expecting, like, blood and guts coming out at the screen, like some horrible action shit, like, oh crap, and, you know, I wasn't expecting, like, full-on horror, and it didn't deliver full-on horror, you know, but that's okay. I was expecting action schlock, and that was fine. I was expecting, like, a Hansel and Gretel-ish action schlocky, really fun, gore moments, but no, it's just a big advertisement for FaceTime, and, you know, once a chainsaw gets thrown at the camera in a really bad-looking angle to where, even if it wasn't 3D, it would look like it's sailing past you and not at you, so I don't even see the point in that one. And as far as the Texas Chainsaw mythos goes, I don't know. I've only seen the 1980 remake. So, I don't know how it does on that, but as a movie in itself, it was underwhelming, especially for what it could have been. Number 2, The Host. Stephenie Meyer is not known for making the greatest source material for any movie. The Twilight series, of course, is her number 1 thing, but when I heard that, when I saw that book, I actually saw the book once. My younger cousin had gotten the copy of the book. I was like, Stephenie Meyer, huh? What's she ruining now? She already ruined vampires and werewolves in the one series. And I read the back of it, and I'm like, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? That's an odd thing to go off of. Whatever. I didn't plan on ever having anything to do with it after that. I just made fun of it to friends every now and then, like, oh yeah, Stephenie Meyer's ruining the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I didn't expect they'd actually try to make a movie on it, like, oh crap, the Twilight series is ending, man. We gotta take this and roll with it. So, the least I was hoping for with this movie, when I saw it, I'm still not sure why I saw it, but the least I was hoping for was that it would end up kind of like the last Twilight movie. And I did see that. I saw that on an in-flight movie. I saw the final Twilight movie. It was hilarious. And I was hoping that the Host would be hilarious, kind of like that, where there's a lot of bits to laugh at and all. Oh, just noticed the trees behind me are moving. But I thought it was good. I was at least hoping for something like that. I was not expecting it to be good at all. And I was expecting to laugh. Instead, no, they took it seriously. They tried to roll with it. But the thing is, it is such bad source material that I don't think they could have. Unless they totally rewrote it to a point where it's not even a Stephenie Meyer novel anymore. It just fails. Like, The funny thing is, it's trying to mix romance with space invasions, which could work, but instead they focus on the space invasion instead of the romance, even though the romance is plausible, but the space invasion is one of the stupidest space invasions I have ever heard of. Like, so these the aliens come down from whatever planet they're from, and they apparently don't understand why humans don't get along and all, so they want to invade us and make our lives better or something, improve our highways or whatever. It very confusing motive for them, motivation. And yes, I do agree with Linkara on this, that the way you get to an end can be complicated, but motivation is not supposed to be a complicated thing. You can't have a complicated motivation that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the way the aliens take you over is by a very specific surgical procedure. They have no special powers besides they like each other. And there is absolute... And they're pacifists, too! Like, they refuse to kill people. It's like, how did they take over? They took over most of the planet somehow. Were we just in a coma, and then when we woke up, they were all there or something? Like, it's hard to build tension in a world like that when you're like, dude, like, what are they gonna do, to strap you down and you'll be mildly... And it'll be mildly unpleasant while they put an alien in your head? Like, that's not scary to me. That's not building tension for the romance and all. And it's just funny, it's a romance novel that fails on romance, almost like Warm Bodies, even worse than Warm Bodies, actually. Cause, you know, that one, its whole thing is about the romance. It focuses on the romance a lot, which makes it a little better than this, which doesn't focus on the romance, which... I'm just going around in circles. The point is, it just fails. It's just a major failure. And the #1 worst movie of 2013 is... Guess. No, honestly, guess. What could it be? What movie did I see that left me practically comatose for a week? Well, what movie was all I could talk about because it had ruined my life? What movie actually got onto my top 5 worst movies of all time? Well, Scary Movie 5. What was I expecting? Even looking back at it now, I feel like... What were you expecting, Glenn? Why didn't you just walk out of that theater? I would have walked out within the first half hour after seeing that thing, but... No, I had to stay. I stayed for you. I sacrificed myself so that I could give you the full message. If there was even a single joke that helped it, even a single moment that made me feel like I was alive, like I had blood going through my veins or anything. But no. The entire movie was just a big succubus. The longer I stayed there, the more I slipped into a depression. Scary Movie 5 is a very, very scary movie. And I just hope that that's the last of them. It's probably not. They're probably gonna make a Scary Movie 6 starring Ashton Kutcher, who goes into a lion's pit, and one of the lions is Snoop Lion. Ha ha ha. Get it? 'Cause his name is a lion. And he's in a lion cage. That's gonna be most of the jokes in Scary Movie 6. And the good news is, that is, with Scary Movie 5, I honestly can't see it getting any worse. Maybe I'm jinxing it here. Maybe I should, this is a wooden desk, so it works. Maybe, but I feel that it was a movie that was so horrendous with that theme. The theme of just taking in random jokes from other sources. Well, no, references to other sources, and this is funny. I feel that this is the epitome of how bad it could get. Like, to where it sucks your soul out. I think that is as worse as it can get. It can only go uphill or stay at the same level. It can't get worse. So at least there's that comfort to me. Maybe I have just jinxed it, and Scary Movie 6 is literally gonna have the ushers come in and stab you while you're sitting there or something. I don't know. But it is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Ever. I recommend it to nobody. Not a single person. Maybe in the last review I recommend to someone, I recommend it to nobody. I don't care if you like the fourth one, the fourth Scary Movie. I don't care if you love those movies where they just make random references to Madonna and you think it's funny. No. Nobody should see this movie. Nobody should encourage them to make another one. I hear they're making a Haunted House too. Yeah, I'd actually recommend go and watch that. Over time, I've discovered I don't like Haunted House as much as I thought I did. I think it's lost its replay value, like rewatch value, I suppose. But even so, I would watch Haunted House 2 a billion times. I would watch both of the Haunted Houses a billion times if it meant they would never, ever make another scary movie. Especially one like that. If they got all of the Wayans brothers to make the sixth one, then I would go see it. Because I have a soft spot for them. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. But I actually like their movies. For the most part. So, yeah. As usual, the worst part, the worst movies part has gone on for longer than the best movies part, but what the hell do you expect? There's more to talk about when a movie's bad. So, until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation. It is unknown to me if there will be a best and worst next year. A top 5 is probably unlikely, and a best and worst itself might not even happen. It honestly depends on how often I can save up the money and go to these horribly expensive movie theaters. It just depends.
I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired, my mind is on the blink. I wonder, should I get up and fix myself a drink? No, no, no.